Okay, today we are going to look at solving quadratic equation, and then with regard to solving quadratic equation, we normally have three ways of doing that. The first one is method of factorization. The second one is solution by completing the square, and the third one is the formula for solving a quadratic equation, which I remember in those days in secondary school used to call it almighty formula. So today our focus will be on the first one, which is method of factorization. Method of factorization. So with regard to this method, for instance, if we have uh, the general quadratic equation as, let's say, a x squared plus bx plus c is equals to 0. Now, the a is termed as the coefficient of x squared. Don't forget, here is power 2. And then the b is the coefficient of x, since this one is having only power 1. And then the c is the constant. Now, always remember that the a, which is coefficient of x squared, must not be equals to 0. The reason is a situation whereby the a is 0. It means that when we multiply 0 by anything, the result will be 0. So here will be no more. And with regard to bx plus c, it will be linear equation instead of the quadratic equation. Now, for example, let's assume that we have another quadratic equation, which is x squared plus 5x plus 6 is equals to 0. Now, when we compare to the general quadratic equation, you could see that here we have a, but when you come to here, nothing is there, so it means it is 1. So the a here, when we compare, a will be equals to 1. Now b, when we compare the b to this side, it will be 5. Since coefficient of x here is 5, coefficient of x here is b. And then that of the c will also be 6. So the first thing that we say is we have to make sure that the coefficient of x squared multiply the constant c. So we say that find the product of hc. So when the a multiply the c, when the a multiply the c, now don't forget that when we compare to this quadratic equation, our a here is 1 and our c here is 6. So we are trying to say that just multiply the 1 by the 6, and when you do, you are getting 6. So when you get 6 like that, the next thing that you have to do is to find the factors of the 6. That when you sum up, you get the coefficient of x. But don't forget that the coefficient of x is 5. Here the coefficient of x is b. That's the general quadratic equation. But let's use this example. We are trying to solve this example. So in this way, factors of 6, don't forget that the 6 is positive. So we are just looking at the positive aspect. Now factors of 6, we can talk of the 1 and 6. And then we can also look at the 2 and 3. Now, after getting your factors of 6, you have to make sure that you go for the one that when you sum the factors, the pair of factors, the pair of the factors, you are going to get a coefficient of the x, which is here it will be 5 because coefficient of x is 5. So here 1 plus 6 will give us 7, it is more than 5. But 2 plus the 3 will give us 5. So it means that this one will work. 2 and 3 will work. So we are going to replace the factor which is 2 and 3 to that of the 5 here. The idea is to, here we are getting 1, 2, 3 terms. The idea is to get 4 terms so that we can easily group them and factorize. So basically it's going to be x squared plus, instead of the 5x we are using the factors. So we have 2x plus 3x plus 6. Don't forget that when you add 2x plus 3x, we are still getting back the 5x. But now something has happened. We are getting 1, 2, 3, 4 instead of 1, 2, 3. So now that we have 4 terms, we can do the grouping. The first 2 will be in one bracket, and then the last 2 will also be in another bracket. So we have x squared plus 2x in one bracket plus 3x plus 6 also in another bracket. So we can say that my x squared, we can factorize. Now this point we can do the factorization. X squared plus 2x, what is common? Now x, so x out, what must be here so that when I multiply I'll get back to x squared will be x plus what must be here 2, so that when I multiply I get back my 2x plus here 3x plus 6, 3 is common, and then my x plus 2 equals to 0. Now look at it, something is happening inside the bracket. They are the same. That is how it's supposed to be. A situation whereby they are not the same, then it means something is wrong somewhere. So you have to look at it again. Now that it is the same, we can easily do the grouping. So x plus 3 in one bracket. Now they are common, so we take any of them. X plus 2 is equals to 0. So here it implies that my x plus 3 is equals to 0, or x plus 2 is equals to 0. So my x will be negative 3, or my x is equals to negative 2 as my final answer. So basically this is the way to go about when you're using the method of factorization, and this one is very common and also simple. Now if you are still not clear with it, maybe in the next example you will be okay. Let's keep learning. Thank you.